Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. There is no doubt that among the many forms of crisis our Muslim community is facing in America, one of them is identity crisis. And that is due to the powerful but un-Islamic environment. This is precisely one of the fundamental reasons why Imam Shamsi established Nusantara Foundation in 2014. Since then, Nusantara has been undertaking a variety of initiatives to introduce Islam as a mercy to America and humanity. Since the beginning of 2018, Nusantara has taken a bold initiative to establish the first Islamic boarding school in America. A piece of 25-acre land has been acquired with several old buildings in the beautiful city of Modus, Connecticut for this purpose. But Nusantara cannot do this noble project without Allah's help and your kind donation and participation. Please do help and donate generously to Nusantara Foundation. For donations, kindly turn your eyes toward the TV screen. May Allah reward you all abundantly. وجزاكم الله خيرا.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back with me, Davira Chairunnisa, in Islamic in the West Challenges and Opportunity Series with Imam Shamsi. Assalamualaikum, Imam.
Assalamualaikum.
How are you today?
Good, alhamdulillah. Thank Allah.
Alhamdulillah. Ramadan Mubarak, Imam.
Ramadan Kareem.
Hope you have a good Ramadan so far.
We did spend the days of Ramadan so far good, and alhamdulillah, may Allah accept our fasting, inshallah.
Ameen, ameen, inshallah. Okay, Imam, so let's continue our discussions from the last episode. You mentioned three aspects to do daqwa as a Muslim. So the faith, the second one is the knowledge, and the last one is persistence. So I'm curious more to know about the knowledge, especially maybe in this country, in this America. How do we seek knowledge to do the daqwa?
You know, as I said earlier, that knowledge is not only about Quran and Hadith, but it is important to understand that Quran had been revealed. The meaning of revelation means something from up down. It's revelation going down. It means do not always think that the Quran is still up hanging in the heaven, in the sky. Quran had been down here to the earth, and that's why, you know, it reminds me of a book written by Professor Quraishi, a scholar in Indonesia, Membumikan Al-Quran. It means to make the Quran is earthly down. It means how to connect the Quran into our real life. So when we want to make da'wah, what you need to know is about how to connect the ideals that you have in the Quran, the ideals that you have in the Hadith, and connect those ideals into realities of life. And for that to happen, you have to understand where you live in. What is the circumstances of the society, their culture, their social life, economic life, even political, you know, understanding of life, you know. For example, we are living in America. America is a capitalist country where everything is about money. Now, how should I then present Islam in this kind of mentality where people think about money, think about dunya, about these materials? How should I present then Islam here so that in not to be considered Islam had come to make them poor and so on and so forth? And so we have to learn about the society. And it is very important. Again, coming back to the same ayah that I repeatedly mentioned, you know, that the Prophet said, "Khatibun nasa qadra uqulihim." Talk to the people based on the level of their knowledge and the level of their understanding. You know, so when I talk about Islam to an American, I will talk Islam will be differently than talking to someone who is in Makassar or somewhere else in Indonesia, because the understanding, the level of minds is different. Also, the understanding of circumstances and so on and so forth. So it will be different. So khatibun nasa qadar uqulihim, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent the messenger on the lisan of the people, based on the tongue of the people. And it means also tongue here is not only spoken language. It's not only because, yes, it's important to speak in English, but it's not about English here also. It's about culture, it's about social language, and so on and so forth. You know, how do people see the connection between male and female, for example, in the society, between children and fathers and parents in the society? There's a different mentality. There's also language. You know, even talking to our own kids in America is different the way we talk back home, Bangladesh or Indonesia or anywhere else, because of the mentality of the kids are different. So it is very important that knowledge be expanded, and the da'i, the imam or the maulanas or the ulama who are calling to Islam must always update their minds about the information. You know, we are living in information era, and the information change very rapidly. So we have to be updated as well. Do not be outdated, because there are some imam happen to be having an outdated mindset. They are still thinking about 10 years ago, 15 years, 20 years ago, you know, and they are trying to convey Islam based on 20 years understanding 20 years ago. And that's, there is no connection. You know, my experience with the youth, not about with the non-Muslim, with the youth. With the youth Muslims, you know, they refused to come to the masjid. So one day I asked them, why you don't want to come to the masjid? They said, you know, Imam, we want to come to the masjid, but every time that we come to the masjid, listening to the lectures and the khutbahs, looks like we don't have any hope anymore. Because every time we're talking about Jahannam, you know, talking about fire, talking about, looks like we don't have any hope anymore. The point here that when we talk to the people, we have to understand the level of their understanding, of their minds, their mentality, and how to connect the teaching into their minds. And it's not only about, oh, this is the truth we have to convey, but we don't understand the minds of those who are going to receive the truth. So it is very important that knowledge must be expanded here, and that's why we must continue learning. Our ulama must learn social media, for example. You know, nothing wrong. And social media is a tool for us to make da'wah. I have my own Instagram, I have my own Twitter, I have my own Facebook. I close it because of being hacked by some. I have a lot of social media. I have a lot of WhatsApp groups. I have to, you know, exit from some because too much. But my point is that we have to be involved in every angle of modern life, advancement of the time, in order to engage in da'wah. So that's knowledge about it, because there are some other things that we have to do in order to make da'wah.
Okay, so it's about flexibility, like how is like your audience, right?
All right, so but when you talk about audience here, yes, flexibility is needed. Flexibility here means we must adjust the way we convey Islam based on circumstance without going beyond the principle.
Right.
Because there are some principles that you need to keep. You know, it doesn't mean when you talk to a Catholic then you say, oh, we agree with Trinity, for example. No, there's a principle. All right, but we have to talk about the importance of loving Jesus, believing in Jesus, respecting Jesus, honoring Jesus. As Muslim, we believe in the gospel, the one who was given to Jesus, Isa. But it doesn't mean we agree on their belief in Trinity, for example. So there are certain things that we have to adjust in the way to communicate. But there is another thing that I think we need to take into consideration when we make da'wah, and it is about humbleness. Being humble and having positive minds to everyone. Now, what does it mean being humble? Yes, we do believe that we are Muslim and we do follow the truth, but it doesn't mean that we are arrogant. Okay, we don't have to be arrogant while claiming to be believer. We have to continue humble. Now, what is humble here? Humbleness here means that we have to see everyone, every human being, that he or she is initially, in principle, good. Okay, no matter how worse that person is, drinking, you know, involved in drugs, okay, that's fine, but there are still possibilities he's going to be a good person. We have to have a positive view about everybody. I just wanted to give you one example. In 2007, when I was an imam at the Islamic Cultural Center here in New York, I have someone called me. He's an Egyptian limo driver, and he said, Imam, I have someone wanted to learn Islam. So I said, send him to the mosque. So he sent him to the mosque, and that guy, tall, big, Caucasian, white, but a lot of tattoo, even on his face, a lot of tattoos. But he came with Buddhist outfit, like a monk Buddhist. So I say, okay, have a seat. And I asked him what I can do for you. He said, I wanted to learn about Islam. So I said to him, why? Are you a monk? He said, no, I'm not a monk. Why you have this monk? He said, I am a Buddhist. I just wanted to respect the Imam. Because he thought the Imam have a different outfit, you know, so in order to match the Imam, he had to do this Buddhist. So, okay, thank you very much. Why you want to learn Islam? He said, number one, because I'm a Buddhist, if I feel hungry, I mean spiritual hunger, thirst, I enter into my room, I close the door, I did my meditation, I feel happy.
Yeah.
I feel satisfied. But the moment I left my room, I feel lost. I want a religion that can guide me in 24 hours, 7 days.
Right.
So I say, you got it, Islam. So I talk about how Islam guides us. From the moment you want to sleep until we get up, the moment we want to eat until finishing it, the moment to leave the house, coming back home. In 24 hours Islam, there's rules, guidance, okay? So I say, you got it. And then he cut me off. He said, do you think I can be a Muslim? I say, of course, every human being can be a Muslim. And then I continue talking and talking and talking, and he cut me off the same question. Do you think I really can be accepted as Muslims? So I said to him, why you ask that question? He said, because I am a gay. I am a gay, homosexual one.
Yeah.
So I look at him and I said to him, when did you begin that feelings, attraction to the same sex? He said, when I start my business. So I asked, what is your business? Modeling. Okay. What happened before, prior to that? He said, I used to have a girlfriend. So you used to be attracted to the woman before you starting your business.
Yeah.
And then you change. Now you're attracted to the same sex, or, male. It means you change. My friend, I asked him, I told him, my friend, becoming a Muslim is not changing the religion. It is about changing your life.
Yeah.
Now you change your life from someone who is attracted to the woman, attracted to the same sex. You change, right? Are you willing to change? That's my question. He thought very long. He was thinking, and then he shook his head. And I said, okay, you got it. Alhamdulillah, to make the story short, he became a Muslim. 2 years later, he called me and he said, Imam. I said, yes, I'm in Morocco. I said, what are you doing? I was in the Hajj at the time. What are you doing? He said, I'm going to marry my wife.
Oh, mashallah.
Just in 2 years. He was a homosexual, he was a gay, but Islam changed him. So my point here, do not underestimate the possibility of every person to become better. And that's why you must be humble and must continue seeing everyone else that he has the opportunity to be a good person, to be a Muslim. Until someone breathed the last breathing, he died, he has still the opportunity to be a good person.
Okay, so knowledge itself is not enough.
Yes.
So we must be humble.
That's right.
With the knowledge that we have to do the daqwa to the other
That's
people.
correct.
All right, okay. And the last one, Imam, about the persistence. How about that?
Yeah, because making da'wah is challenging. You can imagine, particularly in America, Islam is understood deeply, and you are Muslim, certainly you are considered immigrant, you are considered guest, you are considered newcomer to America. This country doesn't belong to you. Now you are calling American to Islam. It's challenging. It's not easy. American people feel that they are exceptional, they are smart, they are advanced, they are rich, they are powerful. Now you are coming to call me, to invite me to what you consider a good. I am better than you. They will feel that. So it is challenging. Now, if you don't have that consistency, we are going to fail in the middle of the way. So we have to have patience, we have to be strong, and we have to persist and to continue walking the path. And that's what we do. And alhamdulillah, I've been here in the country 26 years with all challenges we are facing. 9/11 is not easy. Islam is considered terrorism. Muslims are killers. They are dangerous people. When they show you on the subway, they will think that you are going to blow up subway. A lot of evil things in their minds, and now you are calling them to what so-called good way. Yeah. They will say, are you crazy? You are calling me to terrorism and you call it that good way? But alhamdulillah, we continue to walk, and alhamdulillah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, wa makar Allah, wallahu khairul makirin. They plan, Allah has planning, but Allah is still the best planner. They change their minds. Thousands of Americans not only studying Islam, but alhamdulillah accepted Islam as a new way of life. Alhamdulillah, I myself have been blessed to lead many hundreds, maybe thousands Americans to become a Muslim. I don't count how many, but Allah has blessed me with that, and there's a good opportunity. The most joyful and happy moment in my life when I'm able to guide someone by Allah's guidance to say shahada. Yeah. And that is the most beautiful moment in our life when you say to someone, can you follow me? by column say Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah. That is the sweetest moment in one's life. It is not about getting $1 million, billion dollars. It is about leading someone to the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
MashaAllah. So just do it, right?
Yes, that's right.
Okay. Okay, Imam, thanks so much for discussions today. It's very insightful, like from a personal level. Hopefully the audience can get a lot of from these discussions. All right. Thank you so much for watching today's episode. I'm Davira Chairunnisa. I will be back tomorrow with Imam Shamsi Ali. Thank you. Assalamualaikum.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. There is no doubt that among the many forms of crisis our Muslim community is facing in America, one of them is identity crisis. And that is due to the powerful but un-Islamic environment. This is precisely one of the fundamental reasons why Imam Shamsi Ali established Nusantara Foundation in 2014. Since then, Nusantara has been undertaking a variety of initiatives to introduce Islam as a mercy to America and humanity. Since the beginning of 2018, Nusantara has taken a bold initiative to establish the first Islamic boarding school in America. A piece of 25-acre land has been acquired with several old buildings in the beautiful city of Modus, Connecticut for this purpose. But Nusantara cannot do this noble project without Allah's help and your kind donation and participation. Please do help and donate generously to Nusantara Foundation. For donations, kindly turn your eyes toward the TV screen. May Allah reward you all abundantly. وجزاكم الله خيرا.